Welcome. It is Monday, May 17th. Thank you guys again for joining us here for First Touch. My name is Dazerin. Join with me, of course, as always, Dizz and TBates. Gentlemen, how are we doing today?
That's a beautiful Monday afternoon.
There you go. Good afternoon. To all of our central and eastern coast, west coast people, y'all are just now waking up. You gotta stretch up, get some coffee in your systems. I mean, it's a good day for the Europeans. I'll tell you that much. It's a very good day. Very good day for all the BDS stands out there for sure.
Yeah, it is. So, they woke up this morning feeling different, feeling like a three-time major champions. But we'll get to BDS in a second. Actually, well, one thing we want to go over is the European major, because that ended up happening last weekend. If you just haven't been watching Rocket League the last couple of days, I don't know what you've been doing, because we ended up seeing another EU major happen, and this one was a little interesting, I'd say, in terms of where things ended up. The group stage was a little crazy. I think the group A was the one that we were interested in the first. I think that's the one everyone was calling the group of death, with Queso, Vitality, German Amigos, and BS Plus competition. And a team did die there. It was BS Plus competition. German Amigos did end up excelling and making their way into playoffs. And then on the other side, I think a lot of people expected White Demons to fall out. Although, personally, I was looking at top chokes, trying to see, how far they would really go. But they ended up making it to playoffs. It was actually very intense, too. I think it came down to that final series between, I think it was White Demons and Guild. Yeah, White Demons had to sweep if they wanted to stay in it. So the Guild ended up taking that one. It was a 5-game set. But after Guild won their first game, it was already over. But yeah. Afterwards, we ended up going over into playoffs, and playoffs was definitely, it went away. It definitely went away. The group stage is really what made that top half so crazy, but then the bottom half also did show up as well. But what do you guys think? Because obviously I was there the entire time. I was on the desk. I was very happy about that. But
Light flex, he was on the desk, guys. The Mar Dazerin on the EU major desk. We looking fly with the turtleneck on Saturday, and then with a nice little button up and look. What'd you have on Sunday?
Yeah, I had a white button down, but the buttons were black. And then I had
there
nice little polka dot pocket square. But
there you go. Besides the point. Bro, what you think about the weekend like tomorrow said?
I think it was interesting, super entertaining to watch. Recognizing that the first teams that came out of the groups, the top teams, were the teams that actually made it to the finals, which is something that never happens. It's really interesting to see. I did not expect top blokes, top chokes, whatever DeMar be calling them these days,
chokes,
to actually make it out of that group, and to see BS Plus not make it in Group A was a bit surprising to me, knowing the potential that they've had on that roster. But they do look a little shaky. But everything else is I think it's pretty easy to see that BDS would come out kind of. It was no surprise, especially after the Guild series. No surprise to see BDS taking the victory in Europe.
Yep. I told everybody going into the weekend, there's only one team that could beat BDS, and it's Guild. Then you got there's another team, Queso. It's the biggest if with Queso. If they're on their day, they could take them. It's the biggest if, but see, they weren't on the days, and that should be expected. It's like a 30% chance they're on the day, 70% or not, and it was 70% they weren't. So, it's just BDS win another ship, man. They got 5,300 points in EU. We can get into that a little bit later, but when it's expected. Bottom half of the bracket, you got to give SK some props for performing and doing their thing. I actually believe that, personally speaking, I actually thought they had a better chance against BDS than Solar. That's neither here nor there, though. Regardless, I didn't expect either of them to actually compete with them. So at the end of the day, BDS champs again. And
yeah, no, BDS ended up, winning again. It was a cool weekend, especially, we had some of the interviews in, and those were really, really cool to see, especially, Noli kind of doubling down on his Vitality comment after they ended up taking that series. And then we had some words from Extra, but I think we can definitely get into that as we transition over to our next topic, which is BDS. Again, BDS end up winning the major. They're 3-time major champions, fall, winter and spring. They've been able to win every single major, and they just, no one can beat them. No one can beat them. Even in the closest runs that we've seen, they just haven't been able to lose. TBates is not happy about it.
You want me to talk about this team? I'm so
mean-
tired. I'm so tired of talking about this team. I'm just so tired of it. EU just let me down. European Rocket League has let me down completely this whole entire. Oh my gosh! None of y'all can beat them. It's just sad. It's just sad watching them play Rocket League against them. If you went into this season telling me that Europe would have a team with over 5,000 points, I would have told you there ain't no way. Because Europe, they've always been consistently so good. I would say maybe about, if a team really pops off in a good solid reach, probably about 4,400, 4,500. That'd be my cap. Maybe 46. 5,300 though. 53. See, I'm just stuck in limbo right now. I can't decide if they really that good or the rest of them really ain't good at all.
Oh Lord.
And I'm just stuck. I'm just conflicted. I'm so conflicted. I got, first off, let me give BDS their props. It ain't gonna be too much props for me, but I'm gonna give it to them. I'm a nice person. BDS, Congratulations on your 3-time major champion EU. Granted, this is the only time that this RLCS split has ever happened. And there's also a beautiful shot. We can roll a beautiful shot. I want to give this particular person his respect where it's due. This player right here is about to hit this amazing shot. It's so slept on. They gas Monkey Moon so much. Everybody does, but he's amazing. Mark Bay, he is a really, really, really fantastic Rocket League player, and people didn't realize how good he is. He's great. But regardless,
that was a good pinch.
That's amazing pinch, top class. He scores like every single goal. He's so effective on offense. You watch all the tape. Mark Bay is the one doing the damage. But regardless, they're here nor there. I mean, you gotta tip your cap to him. Three-time champion in EU. They're fantastic. And yeah, I mean,
is there a but here?
Well, of course, there's always a but. there's always a but I'm gonna let y'all go. I'm gonna let y'all go. I don't want to speak too long. Yeah, Matt, come back to me.
I don't know. I really don't have much input on this. There's no other team that's ever done this. They've actually made history. I'm pretty sure that we kind of said that they would, be the team going into this. We were doing the predictions last time and we were like, will they be a 3-time champion? And most of us were like, yeah, it's more than likely gonna happen. They're gonna be a 3-time champion and solidify themselves as probably the only team to ever do this. I don't think I could see an NA roster competing or completing a 3 times major champion victory. Say the same kind of format as next season. What happened?
Nothing happened. I was gonna add to that saying I don't think EU will ever do that again.
You don't think EU could do this again? What about you, DeMar? You think EU can do this again?
BDS
specifically? They're gonna
no,
fall off.
No, I can't see
I think
it.
other teams just gonna get better.
Yeah, people are definitely gonna find a way around it. And again, now that majors happen, European offseason is begun pretty much, right? Of course, they have championships, but that's for the top 6 teams. If you're not the top 6, you're in off-season territory, and that is like swimming with sharks. Because we'll see what ends up happening with that goes down. Because teams, again, like BDS having that domination, no team wants to be in second. No top team wants to be in second. No team wants to like just have a regional and be like, oh, BDS, we lost again. No, people, if you're really the competitors you're going to want to play at the highest level and be the best team you can be. So
right.
I expect that coming around next season, we're going to see a lot of changes, but we're also going to see Europe kind of step up to the next level in order to make that region a little bit more competitive, because it's just, it's BDS, and then all the other teams, they don't get their credit, and they've been fighting for that. We've seen that happen, especially, I mean, you look at SK Gaming, for example, right? They were 8th there. A lot of people were writing them off, saying it was a honeymoon period type deal. They're still trying to prove people along with that as well. So I think that coming around, especially next season, even in the off season, we're going to see those changes come in. But I don't think the domination will happen again. Just to answer the question.
Alrighty. So, are we done giving BDS their flowers now? Did everybody get the compliments for BDS out the way?
I mean, I complimented them yesterday, so they got it for me.
I just wanted to make sure that we all got our comments out the way. I just want to make sure that before I just lay the facts down, let everybody know the real deal is happening here. So like everybody, their
the facts.
flowers, they got their candy bar. They all
bar.
happy. Got their championships. Like, we good with that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're good.
I just want to let everybody know that European Rocket League, you were the biggest disgrace that I've ever seen. Oh my God! No, I'll tell you. When I tell you right now,
I ain't expecting to say all that.
Tomorrow.
oh
what's
no,
he
it's
doing?
it's coming. There is only one team. See, it's just so disappointing. European Rocket League. I'm about to put you. I'm so tempted to put you in the same category as OC and Sam. Not just in terms of overall skill, but in terms of just the lack of the top and down from underneath. Guild is the second best team in the EU. I think we all understand that now. I was telling everybody that from the get go. Why are you hiding? I'm just giving out the facts. The fact is, Guild is second best team. Vitality, Stumpy. You have Vitality number 2 in the world. You better drop them back to 10 like I had them, cause they can't make an open net. They need to focus on shooting before they focus on being top 2 in the world. And then going back to Extra interview yesterday was actually so interesting to me, cause he, for the first time, I believe, said, after the Mo asked him a question, he was like, we don't want to be in the talk of the best EU team or the best team in the world because there's no land to prove it. It's boring. We can't prove it anymore. Blah, 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 blah. You
say that.
You said that, Extra. But you could have said that for the last 6 months. You've had ample opportunity to let those words come out your mouth so people like Stumpy. So people like Stumpy wouldn't be gassing you for so long.
Talk to him. Keep that momentum.
But all of a sudden, you changing your tune. And see, like, I'm not gonna let you slide either. No, we don't let things slide on first touch. I'm gonna catch you. I caught you the moment we said that. See, I think you changed your tune for 2 reasons. One, you played in our GN scrims, and you realize that you might not be as good as them. You realize you might not be as good as them. That's in scrims. That's in scrims alone. 2, y'all playing these cross region matches in NA players, and when y'all play them on NA ping, and even when they play you on EU ping, you realize that you still might not be as good as them. They kind of cold. So now you try to take some steps back, just to make sure that if whenever the first LAN happens or something like that, if y'all end up losing, well, guys, I mean, we said we weren't the best in the world. No. You can't get away with that. You can't get away with it. If you really believe that, you would have said it 6 months ago. You can't say it after you won your 3rd EU championship, your 3rd major, 15 for 15 in grand finals. You can't go back now. You had plenty of time. You could have said it out the 10th grand final, the 2nd major. You could have said it many, many times, but now all of a sudden you're saying it, which makes me believe that you're scared. That you got a little bit of fear in NA, but so now you try to take 2 steps back. So if the going gets rubbed, whenever y'all do end up playing them, you end up losing. Then you can say, "Well, guys, we were humble about it. I mean, it is what it is. We just lost." And I don't know. That rubs me the wrong way because as a true competitor, especially when you've been beating everybody, yeah, you would think he would have that dog in him, and I think he did have that dog in him. But now all of a sudden, he's speaking a different tune. So I don't know. BDS, they won. EU, a little disappointing in you. Actually, vastly disappointing. Guild, props to y'all. Know that though. And Devo, y'all balled out yesterday. Y'all probably the only team that really give BDS a run for their money. And it's just sad because there should be way more than just a team that can give especially at this season of Rocket League, Season X, 5 years after the game came out, 6. There should be way more than just one team that can give another team a run for their money in the European region.
My goodness,
that was crazy.
Oof.
You really went off like.
I felt that.
Yeah,
because it's just disappointing. It's disappointing. I think everybody knew going in, the championship was going to be BDS versus Guild. Actually, no, that's not even the championship. The only team that had a chance of beating BDS was Guild. After Vitality ain't gonna beat them, man. Bring up that record. It's like 15 to 3 BDS, man. That's not even competition. BDS won Vitality. They want to see them. Vitality's so mentally weak against them, man. They ain't trying to see them. They don't want it. Vitality has been up 3-1 against BDS at least 3 times.
Look, tell me why we were doing predictions when BDS and Vitality played in groups, and Jace picked Vitality, and I was like, "Nah, they gonna play scared. They gonna play scared."
They fear them. They don't want to see them. Yeah, and BDS say, "Come on, give me that free dub every single time." That's just sad. That's your second team in points. Your second team in points has been up against that team at least 3-1, at least if I know at least 3 times recently, and like recent as in like the last like 5 months, and they always lose.
Always.
It's just pathetic. and so and when it comes down, the bottom line is, man, it's only so much gas I can give the EU region, man. I mean, nobody expected anybody to beat them after Guild lost. Did anybody think Solar has actually had a chance? I'm surprised Solar took a game. I thought they were gonna get swept.
I thought
It was
SK
their
had
best chance, but
I thought
yeah.
SK had a better chance.
SK
And I
had a
thought
better
SK was gonna win one game.
I mean,
Wait, Solar won one game.
Yeah, I know, but that was so surprising. I was like, wow, they won a game. They should be really happy about that. Pat themselves on the back, guys.
They were popping.
Yeah, they were really popping, all right. Popping. Won one game.
I'm just saying, like, you look at groups, right? They beat everybody in groups, right? Then they go in the playoffs, and SK were looking good. They just took down Queso. So you're like, okay, maybe Solary got something going on. Maybe, 1-2 skipped them. I expected it to be at least take 2 games. The way Farrah was talking, they were like, oh, yeah, we're ready. I'm like...
I mean, Farrah is a great interviewer. Farrah, I really appreciate interviews, by the way.
Yeah,
big props to you. Your interviews are amazing. At the same time, though, I mean, I don't care what you're doing about your interview. I want to see it on the field. You gotta be like a Nola. You gotta ball. You gotta chirp, and then ball out. At the moment, I see no balling out. And so it's just, you make a grand final. Kudos to you, man. But ain't nobody expects you to beat them. Vitality, you don't expect that to be BDS. In case so, like I said, if they on their best day, they can give them a shot. But other than that, it's just Gil. And that's just so sad. It's just so sad.
Yeah, it is. It is unfortunate, and like
yeah.
To
answer this question, the domination will never happen again, though. So, I mean, I just think EU will get better.
Yeah, I think so. I think
they'll get better.
But I mean, BDS has had a very dominant run, and I think that brings us to our next point, which is the level of domination. If we think about things in the overall conversation, what does that look like in terms of top all times? And that's again going to our next topic, which is the top 3. This topic is scuffed, but we'll get into that a little bit later. Is BDS already a top 3 all-time team?
When we say top 3 team, we're talking about roster.
Yes, is there
not just organization?
Let's do this because I did this with Gibbs. This was great. Okay, can we all say our answers at the same time? If I do a countdown from 3, can we all say our answers
from 1,
at the same
2, 3?
Time? Right, 1, 2, 3, and then the answer.
Hold on,
Just like in any
yes
order
no?
of my teams?
No. Just say answer the question, yes or no.
Oh, of course.
Okay. Or after 3. 1, 2, 3. No.
No.
I'm stuck. I'm tiptoeing.
This is sacrilegious. There's no way you're tiptoeing.
I'm tiptoeing.
You're tiptoeing.
I'm tiptoeing.
Tiptoe,
bro.
What's up with him?
You're
I
tiptoeing.
don't know, bro. Yeah, okay, you gotta look at the facts.
What fact? Give me the facts. You break it down for me. Wait.
What did they just do, T-Bates?
Wait, who's your top 3? Who's your top 3?
What did they just do, T-Bates?
No.
I'm tiptoeing. I said I'm tiptoeing, bro.
What did they just do?
What did they just do?
Okay, let me list it up for you. Let me list it up for you.
I don't care.
Let me list it up for you. Let me list it up for you again. Make it real clear what they've done. First off, they came in. Nobody expected them to be this good. That's the first thing they done. I'll give BDS their props. They 15 grand finals.
Mm-hmm.
They've won all 3 majors.
Yeah.
They've won 7 regionals, 8, something like that. 7 regionals, 6, 7, something along those lines. And it's been over the course from August until May, which is a very long period of time, 10-year time. What they're lacking is they haven't played any lands, which is not their fault. And other than that, I mean, like for their specific region, they dominated, which is something that has been historically been really, really great. European Rocket League, but I don't feel like it's as great as it used to be.
I mean, the only reason I would defend them not being a top 3 team already is because we haven't seen them on land. That is literally it. They've dominated a region. They have done things that other teams that you're about to put in this top 3 thing haven't done. And I mean, it's not like they couldn't do it, right? But they haven't done it.
What's your top 3? Just to make sure I got my mind right here.
What are you talking about? I said I'm tiptoeing, so my top 3 is just like not even.
Your top 3 fluky. All right, so you ain't even said. What's your top 3 tomorrow?
Well, we already know my top. First of all, do you want me to say my top 3? Because you should know what's coming next. You turn on water, Bates. Because before, okay, I'm gonna just say it anyway. Before we even get into the top 3, this is supposed to be a top 5. And I didn't even have a list. We ended up swapping the top 3 this morning, and then he asked me for a top 3 team. I said, I don't know. NRG, Dignitas, and Vitality. And then he said he spent the whole half hour cooking me up. So I'm making sure I defend myself there by saying I don't have a solidified top 3 all-time team, but those were the first names that came to mind.
All right, well, both of y'all's list of the week. Let me give the people the actual facts of who the top 3 greatest team, like rosters of all time are. Right, they've had, okay, now when I say this, my preference is, they've had some rosters that are more skilled than these teams. But I'm looking at overall impact in terms of Rocket League, like bringing people into the scene, people you really want to watch. I'm talking about consistency over time. I'm talking about being an all-time legend icon, stuff like that, okay? Just want to let everybody know that. The greatest team of all time is Cloud9. Now, let me break that down. I believe that they've won more than my number 2 team, who is Dignitas, with Turbo, K-Dot, and Violent Panda. And Cloud9 would be Gimmick, Squishy, and Torment. Now, I believe they've won more lands than Dignitas. It might be the same. It might be 5-5.
Cloud9.
Cloud9, they won a gnarly all CS Season 6.
Cloud9.
They're the first NA team to win it in like the modern era Rocket League, by the way.
Cloud9.
They beat the Juggernaut, Dignitas. Y'all forgot about that?
The org's not even in the scene.
No, we didn't forget
bro.
about Dignitas.
Okay, but I'm talking about like overall, like they came from nowhere, Muffin Men. Created a meta, the passing meta. Remember that meta? Where everybody would go left, right, up, down, the gimmick, top, left, top, right, every single time. One of the most entertaining teams to ever play the game. Everybody was a Cloud9 fan back then. Squishy, you always want to root for him. Probably Squishy and Garrett, the two people you probably want to root for the most out of anybody in the world. And yeah, they're just great. But I mean, that's where 1-2 is interchangeable. Dignitas, they won 2 all CSs. They won a gnarly. The second one, they won a 2v2 just like C9 did. I don't think
they're the best team in the world. They're your number 1.
Like all-time
team.
Bro, there's no chance.
I'm not just looking at pure skill. We're looking at pure skill.
What are you looking at?
I'm looking at accomplishment, merit, like overall
Is that
impact.
what this is about?
That's your top 3 greatest teams of all time. If we're talking about pure roster, you could put NRG up there or Turbo, Garrett, Justin. You could put BDS in. Like, it's not just about your team skill. It's about what you've done.
All right, keep going.
Oh yeah, and then after that, I have Flipside Tactics. That's my number 3 team.
Oh,
Not even number.
What do you mean?
That's your number what?
3.
For all time.
So what's 2?
Dig?
How you gonna go from,
Dignitas.
you went 1 to 3.
You did go 1 to 3. That's why.
I said
look
1
shocked.
Cloud9. I said 2 Dignitas. I said 1 and 2 are interchangeable. It really depends on your preference. Like Dignitas' domination is almost unparalleled, but Cloud9 was doing it. They just didn't win 2 all CSs. They won 1, but they were doing it outside of all CS.
Man, y'all giving me a headache, man. Like,
And
for
Flipside
real,
Tactics
for real.
number 3. Yeah, Marky
Like-
Duda eyebrows. That's iconic. Is that not iconic?
Yes, the eyebrows. Yes,
Cuxer double touching on the Batmobile. Is that not iconic? Everybody wanted to play Batmobile because of Cuxer. Right?
Yeah.
And then everybody had greasy camera settings. Everybody had greasy camera settings. Now,
But there's other players that paved the way for camera settings. That's like not a.
but like they said, they pull people into the game. That's one of the best. That's one of the best rosters in terms of. It's like everybody loved Flipside Taxes for Cuxer and Marky, and they were really good, and they still won. Like BDS is dominating right now, for example, right? But like, yeah, like personally speaking, I don't feel like the love BDS like that. Like they're just winning. There's not like a narrative behind them. I feel like you're winning plus a narrative plus what you offer to the game, what you offer outside the game. Like BDS, you're not gonna have the Marky do the eyebrows from any of them. You're not gonna have people. You're not gonna have. I guess people copy the camera settings nowadays, but it's not like greasy. Like greasy lady paved the way, in my opinion.
See, I see what you're saying, but like it's just the way you saying it that's a little crazy. But like, because like you talk about Marky is definitely more than the eyebrows, right? Marky was great. He was a personality.
Personality, one of the best at the time.
Right.
Pull people into the game.
Right. I mean, we all remember the land that they won, the first one, season 2, where Marky literally got up, started screaming. Like that was one of the few times you play a game. I mean, maybe I can't really tell if that still happens to this day, but that was just like they won off of pure passion. Like stuff like that is like when you think of it that way, and you think of the level of
overall
impact. That makes
Yep.
sense.
That's why
You
they're
gotta-
up there.
first of all, you got to say that going in, because if we're talking about
said
just
that.
results, if we talk about just results, then it's a whole different
Preference.
conversation.
You weren't listening. I gave the whole entire rationale
Man,
as
you
behind
said up,
behind
down,
my
left,
decision making.
right.
I did not say up, down, left, right.
And then on that note, that same note, like the most personality Cloud9 had was Torment, which I love. I love Torment.
Okay. Time out. Cloud9 is different. They're not up there. Flipside's up there because of overall impact in terms of personality, bringing people into the game, being really great. And people genuinely love watching Flipside play Rocket League. Cuxer, one of the most iconic Rocket League players of all time, bro. Skill wise, that is. Cloud9, you had Squishy's backing. Everybody wanted Squishy and Garrett to win one. There was two people that everybody wanted, Squishy and Garrett, right?
Mm-hmm.
They won NBC 2v2, right? You can just kind of discredit 2v2s as much as you want. 2s is really sweaty, and that does mean something.
How many Universal Opens were there? Were there one or two?
There are two. Dignitas won another one, who are also in this list.
That's the one. I remember.
They won Gnarly, the first one. They won all CS Season 9, the first NA team to win since Season 1, all the way back in 2016. Yeah, 5 seasons later.
Wait, what?
They're the first NA team to win.
Oh, it's about Cloud9.
Yeah, since I by Power.
Mm-hmm.
That was huge. They also won 2 DreamHacks. So, and it's a consistency from 2017 till really they tail end at the end of 2019, early 2020. That's a 2-year span, 2.5-year span of greatness. Dignitas with a 1.5-year span of greatness, 2 years, where it just dominated. Like that matters. It's not just like being great for 4 months, or like just like overall raw Rocket League skill. I mean, you could put a lot of teams in there if that's the case.
All right, so BDS goes another year. The same thing happening. They're top 3 team, guaranteed, no question.
No question.
No question. You can't argue it. But
Yeah,
they don't even
they're-
have the time. They haven't had the time that C9 had
What do you mean?
together.
Exactly.
So
That's why they're not a top 3 team right now.
Okay.
They could get there, but they're not right now. They could be there. They could be there. We can have this conversation. We can have this conversation in December. If they're still winning, we have a land by December. They end up winning the land.
Guaranteed, no question.
You can make an argument. You can make an argument for top 3.
He's so dramatic, bro.
It's
He's
not
like,
even
did
a question. He's like,
I'm just letting y'all know the facts right now. They are not a top 3 team all time. If whoever's putting them up there top 3 all time, you're disrespecting all the great players and great teams and organizations that have been in Rocket League. And it hurts my soul that some of y'all just over glorify BDS when they haven't even played last year.
Well, besides World is tiptoeing, I agree. But yeah, this one, y'all give me a headache with this one. I'm not gonna lie. Y'all definitely give me a headache with this one. But yeah, so I mean that is how we feel about that one. But obviously, if you disagree with us on that opinion, or
do y'all have like any definitive teams or anything? Or is Raul just tiptoeing and you ain't got
for me, it was Dig. Definitely Dig. But like, I never really, for me, I have to do research. You can't tell me to make a top 3 list with like 20 minutes before the show without me doing my research. That's why I'm an analyst. But
yeah, because you always gotta find the stats.
Like, that's true. That's true.
If we tell Demar to make a list, you gotta have stats behind it.
I gotta have everything nailed down. Numbers, who's doing what to eat for breakfast. I do know that about some players, but I digress.
What's going on?
We are going to move on to our. We're going to move on to our next topic. I was a little nervous. GarrettG. GarrettG. We have GarrettG coming on the show right now. Obviously, I love GarrettG. He's one of my favorite players in the league. Obviously, I'm a big NRG fanboy. Grid boys. But yeah, we're going to have GarrettG joining us on the show. I think we have a video, and we're going to roll that in right now.
About the response from NRG now after the performance from Envy on Forbidden Temple. But they've had plenty of offense. Garrett
here it is.
Atomics missed it, and GarrettG does it. Oh!
Used everything in the tank. He looks like he only had about 50-something boost in the tank. Gets up and just drops it behind.
Hello. Hi, Garrett. Welcome to First Touch.
Hello. I scared you for a second. I'm here.
Yeah. We were getting ready to throw to him, and he got up, and I was like, wait, where's he going?
I had to walk my cat out.
I felt that. First off, how are you doing?
Not bad. I'm just listening to that interesting argument, but I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
Interesting
definitely
argument.
interesting.
All right, what are your thoughts
I mean,
about
you
it?
want to put your thoughts in there real fast?
Well,
about that? It's interesting.
I watched your tier list, TBates, and usually, like, I thought I was going to disagree with you, but I actually think there is an argument for Cloud9 being the best all-time team. So I didn't disagree with you. You do say it kind of in a hostile way, but I don't know. Dig was only 3 seasons if you think about it. So I think there's an argument for it. But they would be pretty tied for me. They're pretty close. They're pretty close in terms of all time.
Yeah.
But I thought you had some interesting points about it. Like I don't think you're wrong at all, to be honest.
Let's go. See, look at that. Garrett's a man of sense. He comes onto the show. He agrees with the person who makes the most logic here, and I just can't blame him for that.
Yeah.
I can't blame him. I like Garrett. I like Garrett a lot already. Let's go.
I'm glad he helped you on the topic that you engineered for you to be right. Anyways, I want to move on to actually asking Garrett some questions here. First off, we want to talk about the North American Major coming up. Obviously, that's a big one for a lot of different reasons. Some for other teams, and maybe not so much for you guys. But I mean, just talk to me about your expectations for it.
I mean, I want to win it. I definitely want to win the major. After I feel like our split was kind of bad, to be honest. Like we got second in the last one, but we had a pretty bad split. Had a lot of issues we've been dealing with, but I want to win this event for sure. I don't know. I hate saying, oh, I just want a good placing. I feel like that's so lame. I just want to win now. Like I'm tired of saying that. I've been saying that for years. We played well. It's pretty good. So I want to win. I want to win this.
Let's go.
Sure.
That's what I like to hear, baby. Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah.
That's that mentality.
That's that mentality. That's that
We love
dog.
that. We love that. Okay. Next thing we want to talk about is obviously
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, next thing we want to talk about is obviously the whole NA versus EU kind of debate that's been going on for a little bit while. We just want to know what's your take on it. I asked this from Extra and the Major, so it's not like you're the first person that we talked about on this one.
Yeah, he dodged it.
I'm gonna be boring for a second, and before I say anything, I want to say what BDS has done is really impressive. Like I think even if the region was stronger, or even if they were like the best team in the world by far, right? The mindset it takes to do that, like to still be hungry after having 5,000 points is crazy. So it's like really impressive. But I don't know, like even when I watch Europe, it's just so like it's underwhelming to me. I don't really understand it. Like you have these teams who play really well for a month, and then all of a sudden they can't make top 8. Like it's really weird to me. I don't know if the skill isn't on the right teams, but like even like a team like Dignitas, they should be making top 4 all the time. Like they have 2 of the best ones players. Like that, I feel like they have a captain who has played the game forever and knows a lot about threes, but like they barely make top 8. It's just weird to me. I don't really understand. I don't understand the reason. I feel like NA was catching up before Season X, because if you look at all the lands, I don't know if NA won more lands the year before 2020, but NA was catching up in average placement. Like, and that was accepted even by EU. Like they were like, wow, yeah, NA is playing good now. Like Season 7, NA placed 3 of the top 4. Didn't win, of course.
Didn't win, yeah,
but top three of 3 of the top 4, and that was all with hours. Like if you compared hours back then, even now, like the hours in NA, maybe not this split because certain announcements happened, but if you compare hours, like it's always a lot. And even EU pros say that like these guys aren't even playing. Like Extra was like, dude, we got to add you to our normal scrim rotation because like EU's rough, and I was like, I know. We watch, but it's just weird. It just feels like a lot of people don't care. Like you just have that mind. Like, and I don't want to call out certain people, but like you have Chaussette, who is the best in the world. Stop playing. Not the best in the world. You had Scrub, who was crazy. Seems like he had mindset issues. Like it just happens so frequently in EU. I don't really understand it. Like when they just stop playing the game, feels like. So.
Oh my god.
But they're good. Like I feel like we went to LAN, BDS would still be crazy. Obviously, like LAN is a whole different game. But I think if we could play online with even ping, I think NA would stomp you. That's my honest opinion.
Oh, talk to him, then. Talk to him. That's all y'all in chat right now. GarrettG has spoken. That's just all you need to hear. That's all you need to hear. Oh my goodness.
Look at him. You keep on talking, Garrett. Teammates gonna start twerking or something. Man.
Oh my
man.
god.
That's beautiful.
Nah,
That's beautiful.
bro.
I need to see. No.
Yo,
People
chill
really
out.
understand the words coming out of my mouth. You need one to go to Rocket League to come on the show and speak the knowledge. He just letting everybody know. It's underwhelming. You watch them play. You got these great. You watch them. You got Dignitas, who I was hyping up from the get-go. DeMar, all y'all both know this. I told y'all, potential wise, and you should look at the roster. You would expect them to at least finish top 5, like
they
every
look
single
good.
time.
They look good for a little while, and all of a sudden
Right.
it's just like
All of a sudden it just goes downhill, and you're like,
weird.
why?
Yeah, I don't understand it.
Right, you watch Jory's in 1v1, Abjack uploads against O'Cal every single day, and you see him beat him. So, like, if you could beat O'Cal in 1v1s, that means your game should translate. Jory's plays Johnny Boy's tournaments, he's flipper setting, double flipper setting, no problem, no issue. Come threes, they're not performing. And it's just like, where is it? And I think that really matters. So, I don't know. I couldn't agree more with that take. And they're gonna call me biased, but it's just the facts. The facts don't lie.
They are gonna call you biased. They are gonna call you biased. But I mean,
yeah, for sure.
I think that I think it's a good point. I don't know. Even if I added on to it, it would sound more biased. But I mean, you look at the region, like you're saying, some teams aren't playing as much anymore. You're seeing that a little bit in NA. There's definitely been a rise in terms of Valorant gamers here. I ain't going. I mean, I did just kind of like name names. Everybody's playing other games and stuff like that. And we are looking at the hours going down. I think who was it? Reynolds posted a tweet of missed hours. He had like 8 past 2.
Yeah, seven past 2.
Yeah, 7. I don't know what he's playing.
His are pretty bad. I mean, even mine are kind of low, to be honest, but it's.
What you about to say? What are yours, Garrett?
Right now? Okay,
Yeah.
let me. I don't know if I'm logged in the scene. Let me just say I did take a 4-day break. Okay, so they're a little bit biased. Mine are usually higher because I'm a boomer at this point in terms of season, so I have to keep them up. You know what I mean? Let's see. I think I'm in the 40s.
Ooh,
45.
40s?
Okay.
They'll be at 65 by this weekend. So it's fine.
Right. Get the spring work in and all that.
I'll get them up. Yeah. I'll get them up. Don't worry. But yeah, they're a little bit low. They're a little bit low for sure. Oh,
Okay.
I did want to, and I hope I'm not adding too much. I wanted to say one more thing about the EU NA thing.
Go ahead.
Because I feel like you can, if you're a fan of EU, you can spin stuff like that. And NA fans did this back then. But when we were winning every regional, or even the big 3 was winning everything, it was the lack of depth in NA. But now that like BDS is winning everything, I feel like it's the same thing. Like no one can touch. Worse. Yeah, but like, of course, people who are BDS fans, because they're the best team in the world, which NA fans said that too. But the EU's argument when that was the case was that there was no depth in NA, so no one could touch the big 3. I think it's the same thing. Same thing in EU. No one can really like touch their consistency. I don't think it's because of how good they are. I think they just figured out how to be consistent, and no one else can do that.
Right.
But yeah, I just wanted to say that because people are hypocritical.
That is true. That is true.
I had that on my brain. I've been thinking about.
You gotta keep them consistent. You gotta keep them consistent. Because people, you know, they saying a lot of stuff. See, I had Stumpy's tweets like memorized in my brain. Just out of something. I was like, BDS went at 80% of work. Oh, okay. Vitality top 2. Oh, okay. I gotta write that down because next time. Okay. But,
so Garrett, you said about BDS on land's a different beast, and I'm agree with you. Land, anything happen for the most part. Once you die, I feel like all it takes is that one pop off weekend. But in terms of online, you said they would get stomped. What's stomped?
I don't think BDS would get stomped. I think EU would.
EU would get stomped. Where would you put BDS on if it was like online? They had to come over here.
I think it'd be the same as what's happening now. Like we have, I'd say we have like 4 teams switching out wins. I know it's a lame answer, but I think it'd be the same thing. Like, because NA, I think the top 4, each team randomly has like a crazy weekend, and I think sometimes they're unbeatable. Like Rogue will be unbeatable randomly. Envy does crazy in some of the regional. I think it'd be the same thing. Like they'd have a pretty good run and then cool off a little bit. Another team would take over. Like, I don't know. I think they'd fit in well with the top 4 right now.
Top 4? Yeah, okay. That's what I agree. There'd be like a legitimate like top 5, and everybody would just be taking hits and getting dubs off each other.
They come down to who wins the majors. Like we won the major, even though we only have 2 wins in this season. We're number 1 because we won the major. So I think it'd be just like that.
Okay. So we're gonna move on to kind of our next like little subtopic here about speed, because Johnny Boy had this conversation. He had this whole thing. I feel like he was just trying to make me salty. He had this whole thing about speed.
He was farming impressions, 100%.
So that obviously begs the question: does speed actually matter to you, GarrettG?
Yes, but not average speed. Because here's my like weird thing about that. If you would have asked almost every player in NA before he came out with the stats, I guess, who's the fastest player on like energy, they would have said Justin, because when he's on the ball, he's really fast, and when he needs to be fast, he is. But outside of that, he's very controlled. Like if you watch him play defense, a lot of times he's just sitting there. But that brings his average speed down. So I don't think average speed, how fast you're rotating and stuff like that, actually has anything. I mean, we could go out there and play super fast. We get destroyed by Space Station just dribbling the ball and dimming us. Like that's what we did fall. We played really fast, like because that's what we did in the off season. We just were dusting everyone. And then Space Station came along, got Reddles, all of a sudden had this crazy controlled play style. We couldn't do anything about it. So I think it's a bad stat. Like I don't think it is a good way to like see who's playing the best at all, in my opinion. I mean, I think control, especially in NA, is a lot more important.
A lot more important, right? Facts,
Yep.
facts, and facts. And that gets yeah, Johnny probably isn't farming impressions. I just wanted to have this on here to let everybody know that speed is just raw speed is an overrated stat. Don't fall into that when you're ranked games and when you're grinding and just want to zoom. It's all about
Wait.
controlling the ball and being effective when you have the ball. When you don't have the ball, maybe slow it down a little bit because the ball might just come to you, make you have a great play.
TBates, I got a question for you though.
Talk to me.
That team you put in top 3 on your list, you said they're the only team that matters with speed. They're the fastest team in the world. Now you're kind of contradicting yourself.
No,
here.
I'm not contradicting myself. You can go back and watch the tape. Tyler Bays, it's very rare that I contradict myself. I make sure that I'm on point. I'll make sure I'm on. And let me. No. On that particular stream, Johnny Moore stream, you're talking about top 20 list. If it was only like a world thing. First off, I'm an SRG fanboy. I said that when it happened. I could have put him probably like top 6. It probably would have been more reasonable to put him like 6. But
they would be good.
I wanted to put him. But my top 5 were all interchangeable in terms of like they could all win. Really, even like 6. I forgot it was 6. Or okay, so 1, 2. Anyways, back to SRG. On that, I said they're the only team, in my opinion,
matters.
In my opinion, that speed, like that raw speed thing, really matters. I'm Ahmed. When you watch him play Rocket League, he does not slow down like at all. Which obviously that's going to increase his raw speed, but it's the same effectiveness even when he has the ball. Like AJ might slow down to control the ball a little bit, but I'm just gonna go full on raw with it, like straight down the field, supersonic every single time. If I can snap, I would, and like it's effective. Most people can't do that. Most people can't. It's like a first killer type of level. His speed would go down if he played in A, but he's on like that first killer type of speed where he's just going. And it's still gonna be like greatness that's gonna ensue after he touches the ball. He doesn't need to slow down to really like take his time. I don't think even like play like Justin does, but that's just the way Justin play. But so like he's in like that rare category. So in terms of like their raw speed, yeah, Senzo kind of up there too. And I'm surprised O'Callaghan moves as fast as he does. I figured he would move a little bit slower, and I feel like he was in like NA especially, he would definitely move slower. But yeah, that's the only reason I said that.
I think you can compare. In my opinion, I could be wrong, but Ahmed and Khaled to First and Taroko. Like,
First and Taroko.
I think Taroko enabled First as soon as he joined, and I think if SRG was playing better opponents, Khaled would slow down. So
yeah, he would slow down.
Right. Yeah, that's where speed would be good when you have someone enabling you to do it. Like I think that's when it's really good. Ahmed would be crazy. I wish they could play on high ping in EU. I want to see them play.
I would love to see. I'm gonna keep you on that, Garrett. How good, just raw skill wise, and then like say like how good would you think they'd be in the current EU? I'm just wondering.
Online tournaments.
Online.
This split, I think they probably would have won a couple events because it seems like everyone's demotivated. They probably would have been so hungry, like if they got the opportunity. I'm telling you that's a major factor. If they want it, like they would. They're grinders too. I see Khaled launching Rocket League every 5 minutes. I swear he restarts or something. He takes a break. He takes a break for Dead by Daylight sometimes, but he's a gamer. He's always on. But they do good. I think they'd be like top 4 this split at least. Maybe in the beginning it'd be a little different because I don't know. Fall just felt different. Everyone was looking forward to LAN, and then it kind of like became. It's hard to explain. I feel like this season everyone has been embracing playing online because there's a play style to play online that works better. And then I feel like when there was LANs, even online, everyone was focusing on their LAN play style because the game changes completely. Like when there was a league play season with a regional event, like Cloud9, they didn't even like Squishy would literally say like he doesn't care about online. He's just trying to make LAN. So they would play their fast, solid LAN play style. And then here we'd be, Energy, like focusing on these little things. And then we'd win regional and then lose worlds because we're talking about a million different strategies we have or whatever. But it's a little bit different. Like I think they do good online just because they already have the online play style like really, really like put down. I don't know how to explain that, but it's kind of weird. It's like you can peak more online and then LAN's more about playing like K-Dot, just hitting the ball hard.
It's
Solid,
solid. Yeah, you don't have to
yeah.
go for any
Yeah.
anything crazy. You just have to be
Yeah.
consistently you have to put up what you
Yeah.
do and like be like effective. I agree.
That's why BDS would be good though, because they have when we scrimmed them, it felt like we were playing a LAN playstyle. I don't know, like a EU LAN playstyle. They're just solid, so
They're
they'd
solid.
be good on LAN for sure.
Yeah. So I think that's something really interesting too, to talk about like lands and stuff like that. And it kind of segues us into our next topic here a little bit, where we talk about Justin and him stepping away from competitive over the summer. Obviously, with the lack of land announcement, he came out with the post, and we even talked about that here on the show. But obviously, you were his teammate, and we always talk about the GarrettG mentality in terms of the game and stuff like that. But we definitely want to know. I mean, because it's I mean, everyone talks about it. Yeah, it's a real thing. And we want to know just kind of from your perspective, like what that was like seeing Justin go through that.
I mean, it's obvious. Like he's sometimes calming in scrims, so I don't get angry. Like he seems motivated for sure. Like he's always kind of been like that. Honestly, like I feel like it's not super different, but it's definitely the most. I don't want to say exaggerated, makes it sound fake. It's definitely the worst. This is the worst mindset he's been in, just because of no worlds for a year and a half. So I can't blame him really. Sometimes, you know, I obviously wish he wouldn't feel that way. Like, you know, regional 2 or something like that. Like I wish we were all motivated, even though it's only online. But I mean, I think it would be good for him. I don't know really what he means, honestly, when he says step away type deal. I mean, all there is in the summer is Olympics anyway. But I mean, if whatever he needs to do to pop off, I'm there for it. You know, like you do you take your break, I guess, you know, type thing. So it's a weird thing, honestly. Like it's something like I can't even navigate. If I knew how to deal with it like easily, I would. You know, it's like it's his. That's where Rocket League.
Something he got to get through.
Yeah, that's something he has to deal with, and I just try to make sure like he's ready to play events. Like, you know, that's where Rocket League, you know, playing professionally comes more, or the mindset part becomes more important. You know, there's feelings, like it's 2 other people and stuff like that. So it's not all about the gameplay all the time. Like when we're all super motivated, we do insane. Like you can see it in our face cams. Like the spring or winter major, we all were super hyped. Like it's weird, but as soon as we start a tournament and I hear like I'm usually the one like screaming, like, let's go, you know, classics, you know, passion. But when the other 2 are doing it, when the other 2 are doing it off the start, like in a group stage, I'm like, yeah, we're probably gonna at least make the final for a win.
Yeah, Garrett's like a proud father, just smiling like 20 years ago. Just
We won it today. We can't lose.
Yeah,
oh,
it's hit or miss. A lot of mindset stuff. That's why I'm saying BDS is so impressive. Like they all 3 seem, even with no worlds, they seem hungry to win. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool to watch, I think.
Okay.
Bro, I know you wanted this topic. I know you like this. So go ahead, get your spill in wherever you go see.
Does it like take a toll on you, Garrett? That's one thing that like I've been so intrigued about, is someone like you who has, we always compliment your mentality. You are like the figure everyone looks at for mentality. And does that, just seeing someone be so down, right? Because like he's dealing with his own problems, does that ever like dip into your kind of mindset?
We're gonna get into a deep conversation.
Let's get into it.
I mean, yeah, this isn't anything I've never told Justin, but yeah, I mean, I'll get demotivated, like because the game will become more about more than just focusing on my performance. You know,
you got to uplift him.
Problem. It's a team type thing. You know.
Yeah.
I try to, but I'll definitely get in my own head because I'm like, dang, I wish I could, you know, be better at leading. You know, because sometimes I'll get in my own head, I'll get angry, and then after a tournament, I'll just leave the team, you know, type thing. But yeah, I mean, it's a whole nother skill set. Like I think, I just think the game isn't just about Rocket League. Like it's about a lot more than just Rocket League, and I think people don't realize that. But I've gotten good at it. I mean, I've gotten good at it. We've been on the team for what, 3 years? Me and Justin have been longer than me and Fireburner. So it's not something I'm new to or anything like that. But yeah, it's a whole different skill that I have to work on, you know, is being a leader. I know it sounds weird, but it's a thing. So
I mean, it's definitive. You gotta have the leader on the team. Gotta have somebody uplifts, who calms, you know, like just the backbone. but then also play like your skill on top of it. That's just like what people should really be looking for in Rocket League players.
And sometimes that's squishy. Sometimes that's squishy. Like
Sometimes
I don't know if I
squishy.
tweeted it, but there was one tournament in the winter where he was like all of a sudden just I was full tilted. I think we're playing V1 and we almost lost game 5 in the uppers. And then he was just sitting there like, come on. And I was like, where's this from? Where did this come from?
You want to lose a tournament. You want to lose a tournament.
Yeah, tournament and
Maybe that
giving.
was
You want to lose to him.
Maybe that was it. Yeah. It's not always me. Sometimes it's his too. But yeah, maybe it was that. I didn't think about that. We just really didn't want to lose the tournament.
But I think that's like a big point to bring up though. Is like a lot of people try to like dissect Rocket League teams and dissect player performance and stuff like that. And sometimes it's the things that you can't see. Sometimes it's the fact that somebody's going through something and, you know, that's just bringing like the whole vibe of the team down, or maybe just this individual player just having a bad day. And it's a lot like team dynamics and how people are feeling are like key. It's always key. I mean, we've had conversations about mentality on this broadcast so many different times where it's really the big factor. You could be the best player in the world, and if you just aren't feeling it, or something went on, or you know what I mean, maybe like you stepped in dog poop before the game, you know, it all does have an effect. You know, you really got to come into a tournament and, you know, you really got to, I mean, yeah, it's whatever. I mean, Garrett, you know about that. I remember that.
Yeah. My dog did take care of her business when I was in the middle of a best of 7 G2. So that was interesting.
That did happen. But regardless of that, it's just like the whole point is mentality is important. And recognizing, I think the biggest thing is that a lot of people recognize the fact that, okay, Justin is clearly, you know, this is not a good place that he's in right now. So the best thing anybody can really do for that is just to be supportive. Right. I mean, obviously you, Garrett, as his teammate, you want to help, you want to resolve the issue because you know the potential when the team is on. But at the same time, it's like, okay, when it comes to things like mentalities and stuff like that, sometimes that's just an inner person's problem that they got to figure out for themselves. And just like Rodiz's camera, sometimes, you know, it glitches out a little bit. You got to make, you know, you got to work around that. I think that us as a community all coming together to support Justin in that was huge. And I'm very thankful for a lot of people being able to do that. But of course, you know, sometimes you need a break, and that's okay. That's okay.
So going off that break thing, you know, if you go to summer, then if so, like Justin's tweet or Twitler was a little ambiguous a little bit, because the only thing that I know of is the Intel World Open. But besides that, say there's like off-season tournaments. If Justin ends up not wanting to play in those, like, what's in our G's plan? What's GarrettG's plan?
Is that the Musty?
Are we gonna see Musty?
Is that Musty?
I'm gonna be honest. This might make us seem very uncoordinated, but I have no idea. Like I haven't even heard of any tournaments, honestly. But I don't think so. Like I feel like a tournament would be announced and he'll play. Like I would think. But it's not something we really talked about because it's not like there's plans for the off season yet at all. I really don't know. I asked him to play until World Open, and I could tell he wasn't feeling it. And then he just kind of tweeted that he was going to take a break, but it's not something we've really talked about yet, to be honest with you. So I really don't know. Like I don't know what would happen. Maybe we will play a tournament with Musty. We'll finally give everyone what they want.
Oh gosh! Oh gosh!
That would be awful. I think Justin would come off his break just so we don't happen to win a match with Musty, because then it would be so, whoever subs out, if the team wins, like it'll be over. Their Twitch chat for the next year.
We was in
terrible.
Me and James Bauer in that grid broadcast, and every time someone's going on, that chat was spam Musty so many times. I'm like, come on, y'all. I'm getting DMs like, yeah, is there any way you guys can tell them to sub in Musty? I'm like, bro, I don't have any control over that, okay? Like, I'm just talking about the game.
His name is banned in my stream because it's all my chat. It's crazy. What are your thoughts on Musty? Or Forky for some reason. For some reason, I'm like, I don't know. Like, I just play him in rank sometimes. I have no idea. Who knows, dude?
Oh man.
Well,
that's good.
Speaking of giving people what they want, we did a hashtag, as you probably noticed, on Twitter, where if you use the hashtag First Touch, we were gonna pull up questions from the tweets, and we have some tweets selected. So you're gonna be in the hot seat for a little bit as we go to the experts from Twitter and answer their burning questions Let's see what we got first. This one's from Coach Bass. How has the introduction of coaching affected you and the team? Do you believe more should be done to incorporate coaches in competitive Rocket League?
I wish there was. I'm gonna answer the second question first. I wish there was spots in spectator mode so that our coaches could always be in there and they could only view our team, kind of like Counter-Strike, where they have a coach slot and they can't view the other team's perspective. Because like Sizz can't even be in the game and also stuff like because there's not enough spots. But mostly, I'm gonna be honest, I just like not having to schedule scrims. That sucks. Scheduling like 12 scrims a week or something. You just gotta message somebody. It's just awful. It takes like an hour. As lazy as that sounds, so I'm glad Sizz is there to plan the scrims. But no, it's good to have a third perspective to uplift. I feel like even if I'm like giving someone on my team good advice, it can sound hostile because I'm the one playing with them.
You're the one playing with them.
Yeah, yeah. It can sound like you're blaming them. So like Sizz being the person watching and no potential bias, player bias. Sometimes it's easier for him to say, I'll type to him to say something, sometimes every now and then. So it's good to have that person for sure.
No, that's what's up. That was a good answer. That was a good answer.
Okay. Let's see what we got next up.
This next is going to be interesting.
Let's see. Our next tweet is from Undo.
Oh, God.
Undo. What's it like having to listen to this?
Sizz, bro. Sizz is, sometimes he's ridiculous. He has a daily schedule. We'll start scrims and then be like, where's my invite? And I'm like, dude, like, ask before and we'll get in a full argument. But no, it's good to have because a lot of times it'll be me and Sizz versus Squishy and Justin. They'll be like, oh, this is chalked. This scrim's chalked. Me and Sizz are like, no, dude, like trying to motivate him. So it'll be like 2v2 kind of. But no, he's ridiculous, dude. He's actually smart. He just acts dumb. So I'm glad we have him.
Yeah, no, Sizz is right. I love how we had a Sizz cam on the grid. That was content for sure. But
oh my god,
I love Sizz too. But let's see what we have next up. What's our next tweet? It is from JG7 saying, "Where do you think you would be without Rocket League?"
I don't know. Probably. I mean, a boring answer. Probably in school for something. I don't know. Doing something. Hopefully. I don't know. You're gonna put me. Oh, sorry.
Like if you were to go to school, like what would you look to study in? Did you have any idea?
Well, when I was a freshman in high school, I had my whole life planned out. I'm kidding. I was going to be an electrical engineer. Whatever. I don't know. I have no idea. Because my best friend's dad was an electrical engineer and he was telling me to become one. So I was going to go for school for something like that, something boring. So I'm glad I'm doing this. Yeah, thank you. Lucked out.
I felt that.
Thank God.
Oh my goodness. I mean, that's an interesting answer. That's for sure. Okay, so let's see what's up. Who else do we have in terms of the tweet deck? Renita, oh man, here we go. This is my boy here. If there were 3 things you could change about Rocket League from the very start when the game launched, the mechanics, etc., what would be your ideal changes to make the perfect video game?
Does this have to be about in-game? Because I wish esports were just more supported in the beginning. It was kind of like I guess they weren't sure if they wanted it wasn't even that big yet. I mean, it was big, but it was like kind of a risk. But esports is so big now, it's like it's a no-brainer to go all in on it. So like we had 2 LANs a year back then. So I wish there were just more LANs, I guess. I don't know about in-game mechanics, to be honest. I don't really have many complaints about the game besides demos. Demos are broken half the time.
Demos are broken and saying you're hitting people and not getting a demo, or they're just like they're utilized too much. What you mean by that?
No, I don't mind it. I feel like it'd be so hard to score without demos. I've adapted to the demo meta. Like I watched some Reynolds replays. I'm good to go. But sometimes they're just so laggy. I guess you can't really do much with the internet. But you'll hit somebody in a major or something like that, not get the demo, or you'll get demo and you feel like you completely jumped over somebody, stuff like that. Or you'll be trying to demo turbo in this flat car and you can't. That's the most annoying thing ever. He's the only person with a flat car. So he's the hardest person to demo in the world. Even though he's like usually just moving, slowly. He's not doing any crazy movement mechanics. I end up jumping over him every time. So I guess that. I don't know. That's a bad answer, but I would have to think about what I would want to change about the game.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'm addicted to the game. I don't really have many problems with the game, but so.
Like
That's
we
why-
all are.
That's why
Yeah.
you've been up the top for so long. Ooh.
All right. What's up next on the
On to the
docket?
next one.
Let's see what we got coming up here. Marty, how many states?
Okay. All right. Wait. Let me answer.
Okay.
I have read things that they're potentially making a 51st state, So when that day comes, I'm gonna have a banger tweet. I'm gonna have a banger tweet when that happens. So I'm just waiting for that day. That tweet is so crazy.
I'm waiting for that day too. 50, like
Wait, time out. You never gave a number.
Well, I'm waiting on the 51 so I can be right. I'm waiting. So right now I'm gonna say no answer. Okay. Because I was right all along. I'm just not right yet. I'll be right one day. I'll be right one day.
one day.
Guys, there was spotlights. I was sitting on a stage. I thought the
Yeah,
question would be
wig on
harder.
everything.
I don't know. I haven't been in school in a few years. Like I'm getting dumb. I'm playing cardball. So I just felt the pressure. I thought it was a trick question. I don't know. Let's move on. Thank you.
Let's move on. What's the next question? Oh my goodness. This is from Henrik. Who are the best 5 Rocket League players of all time? You can do this in no particular order. So,
Well, Turbo K'd up.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say what comes to mind first. Turbo K'd up, and then all 3 of us on Energy. There you go.
oh,
And that's not biased. That's not biased. Squishy, 100% LAN winner of NA.
Okay, you can put Squishy up there.
Justin, most legendary moments on LAN. Crazy mechanical over. I feel like most people are mechanical for a couple seasons and then they're solid like me. And then me, because I feel like I've been to every LAN. So there you go.
I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to argue.
Turbo,
with it.
K-Dop, Squishy, Justin, and Garrett.
I would have Panda up there if like they were still doing crazy good, to be honest. Panda was up there for a while for me.
He was, but he's not better than anybody on NRG. I mean, that's reasonable. That's respectable. Respectable. Okay, that's not bad at all.
You
You can't really argue it. That's the list. We gotta respect that.
I was
Gotta
just looking
respect
into
that.
mine. So
Okay,
Oh.
hey, that's
All
fair.
right. What we got up next here on the tweets, Koji? Pancakes or waffles for my name's Cutie?
this is easy, bro. If you guys disagree, you're off the deep end. Waffles. Easily waffles.
Yes.
No,
Waffles is where it's
Bro.
at.
Pancakes
Nice.
are too
I know.
soggy. They're too soggy.
Too
You can't, like,
soggy. That just
can't-
means you put too much syrup on them.
What I mean, what are you doing without? I like to douse my waffles in syrup.
Garrett, Garrett, dab me up, Garrett.
100%.
Dab
Yeah,
me up,
100%.
Garrett. Nah.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
why are you
facts.
having waffles without syrup or pancake without syrup?
No,
You
I
gotta
got
have-
my pancakes with syrup, but it's got to do a little dip in, or a little bit of syrup on top. I don't need to just pour the whole bottle and then I'm just eating syrup.
I like to put it in the little squares, and then
You know
it's
what
like
I'm saying?
waffles, easily waffles.
Ah,
The
no.
Waffle House, they don't have pancakes. They have waffles.
Waffle House do go hard. They do go hard.
Seriously.
I should have known he's gonna go waffles. That's good. That's a good one.
I'm from Georgia.
Yeah.
That's facts. That's facts. That's facts. Do we have we've been running through the tweets. Do we have more tweets?
Yeah, we have
Yeah.
many of them.
Boom, J Bass Fox. Oh, my favorite. I don't know what his favorite is. Maybe he's talking about you, Garrett.
Garrett.
Yeah. I'd love to see him share how he's able to stay so consistent, especially mentally after all these years. How does he keep that fire and drive to consistently running at 100 emoji all the time?
Why you talk like that?
Because it's funny.
100 emoji.
I just know I'm pretty fortunate. Like, pro players, any entertainment. I mean, you make a lot. Like compared to a lot of people are struggling. So I know I'm very, very lucky to have the opportunity I have. Like me and my dad didn't have much money growing up. So I feel like this is an opportunity I can't really take for granted because I know I'm back to real life, as soon as it's gone, unless I, make something of it. But I just know I'm very fortunate. Like, it's a boring answer, but like, that's what it is. Like,
That's a real answer.
That's a real answer. That's a real
That's a
honey.
real
Let
answer.
them all
Like,
know.
I see people like not taking this opportunity. Like, they complain about it. And that's why I don't understand it. Like, I'm not trying to like have a superior mindset or anything, but it's just, I mean, you make a lot for what you do.
Make a lot of money.
It's really not that big of a time commitment compared to, people have to wake up in the morning. You know,
some people wake up at 5, they work until 7, working 14
yeah.
hours.
And I respect those people. Like that's a grind. But
right.
I'm very lucky to be able to do this. I'm tripping on my words, but that's basically what it is. Like if I gave away this opportunity, my dad would he would make fun of me for life. I mean, my dad works a labor intensive job, and you know, he's not very happy about it all the time. So I know I'm very lucky to be able to do this. Sit in my room, you know, bought a house, playing a video game. You know, like I'm just very blessed to be able to do that. So that's why. I mean, that's all.
Yeah.
Oh, talk that Hundo P to him. Hey, that's that real talk, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
That's the truth, though. That's the
truth.
truth. I mean,
That's
so many people can like benefit off that mentality, though. Like, it's genuinely a question sometimes. I mean, obviously, I don't speak on it, but like a lot of people should have that. They should have that because people don't understand it. And so many people who take that, like Garrett said, is people who take that for granted. Like people will come in and especially in the players, like this is something that does come in from like the players, even into like caster talent and stuff like that. I've seen people like who want to be like esports commentators just because it makes them like a lot of money or something like that. But like, you understand, you have a job that is honestly like this thing people dream about. There's so many people who tell at least either me and probably even Garrett and you two as well, that you guys have a dream job of what you want to do. And the fact that we are able to do that, and I make decent amount of money. These two idiots call me rich all the time. So, but that being said, it's just like, I don't take that for granted. I completely understand exactly where I came from and what I have now. And you have to do that. Like you definitely have to do it. So, I mean, that's a great answer in terms of like, talking about why you keep the mental strong. I wish more people thought that way. Yeah, that being said,
that's that real talk.
That
really
hit
me.
That
really
hit me though. Like for real. That's why I had to go in on it a little bit.
But the more it goes on his soliloquies, that means you hit him hard. That was a great answer, brother. I love that. I wish more people had that. That's beautiful.
Okay, what we got up next? Whoever got to follow that tweet up. Have you kept up? This is from HVC. Look, I've seen him around. How have you kept up better with the meta than like the likes of other pros who have been here since before season 1?
I just kept playing. I feel like everyone stopped playing, really. Like, I mean, I could list off all the season 1 pros and they all just kind of stopped. I mean, Rimco, legendary guy. I love Rimco, but stopped playing. Kronovi got, and I don't want to discredit, I don't know what they were going through or whatever. It's not like it's simple or easy to just keep doing the same thing, but I just feel like I've kept my hours up all these years, and I think I'm good at like realizing when I'm behind and figuring out what I have to work on. And I do watch a lot of other players' replays. Like, I'll download some first killer replays or whatever, and I'll see little things they do that I could do better. And I've done that forever. Like even when I was on the come up, I was downloading EU player replays because I thought NA was terrible. Like before season 1. I used to watch Marky all the time. I watched all of Weedham Girls, and I've just been doing that forever. I honestly am a big copier. Like I copy everything, but I feel like I just like to take things that other people do better.
Yeah, you just take things, add it to your game.
Yep. I don't have to innovate. I just wait for other people to do it, and then I just do what they do.
All right, thanks.
Hey, you invented this, man. Let me take it and make it a little bit better. Add a little extra, add a little touch to it. That's what's up. Yep.
Okay.
These answers are high key flame. Okay, keep on rolling tomorrow. We almost done.
Yeah, let's see what we got. We got to let Garrett go after a bit. This is from Raw Greg. What's up, Raw G? How has your playstyle / role changed since Squishy has come onto the roster? Do you have a specific way you feel the most comfortable playing? Good luck with the major and the regional championships.
I don't know. I feel like we play so much now that I'm playing a different way every few weeks. I thought I was going to be a lot more defensive than I was. But it took me a while to realize, like I went back and watched season 8. I was actually kind of passive. Like Turbo was very aggressive. He's even very aggressive on Envy. Like he's the guy doing all the dirty work, and he did that for us too. Like except I think at Worlds he played a lot more back, but online especially he was very aggressive. So I feel like my playstyle hasn't really changed. Like I'm just always focused on mid. I feel like I'm a midfield player. Really, I just focus on filling the gaps and stuff like that. But me and Squishy will sometimes switch roles. Like there'll be tournaments where he's really far back, and then there'll be tournaments where I'm sitting pretty far back, and they want me to demo or something. But I don't know. I think with this many tournaments, my playstyle is like changing every month because first killer and rogue, almost called the whole team first killer. on accident. Oops. They'll come along, and then all of a sudden we're playing really fast to keep up with them. And then when Space Station's playing the best, we're trying to match their control. So it just changes so much every split, honestly.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we know you have to go, so I think we'll just do this next tweet as the last one, and then we'll let you out of here. Let's see what we got from Caden. If you could team up with 2 other guys who are not a part of NRG, who would they be and why?
Few. I mean, first thing that came to mind was JNups and Kaga because they're already have synergy. So I'd say JNups and Kaga.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
They're always good. They're always good. So
I thought we could get his Intel World Open team potentially, but he said JNFs.
Well,
he said JNFs. I thought we might be able to get him.
well, I mean, well, never mind. That's fine. No, I can't say.
You can't leak.
One of them's first killer. I just can't say the other one because of their order.
Okay.
I guess so.
Yeah,
first killer.
Okay.
First killer again is somebody.
The orb. We already got the experts. They on it. They on it right now. We gotta get out of here. Okay. Look, GarrettG, obviously, thank you so much for coming on. It's an absolute pleasure. And I mean, this like hearing you talk about everything you talked about was a treat. So thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, appreciate it, brother. That was amazing. Yo, where you handle yourself, answer your questions, gave us that real talk, which a lot of these young players, young people watching Twitch, that they need that. And coming from you, I know they're gonna listen. So I mean, that's just beautiful, man.
Yeah, I know. Really I know some of my answers were all over the place, but yeah, I appreciate it. I love doing stuff like this. So yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Welcome anytime.
Yep.
All right, brother. We can say bye to Garrett, and we're gonna go and talk about the NA Major as it is coming up very soon. About to get down into business, gentlemen. In terms of the last 2 spots, you know, Europe, we saw that last European major, not a lot on the line, but for this one, it's gonna get a little bit intense. You know, you're talking about 3 teams battling for 2 spots. Those teams are going to be Shopify Rebellion, G2, and FaZe. G2 and FaZe both being in the same groups. The groups have been released, and I think we should probably bring those up now. But for you guys, I mean, talk to me about this major. How you guys feel going into it?
Well, I'm gonna go for it. First off, why is Group B so hard?
It's that V1 tiebreaker. V1 won that tiebreaker against Ghost. I bet you if Ghost was there, it probably wouldn't be that hard.
Group B's hard.
Yeah.
Group B is hard.
And in SSG, they're playing with Safi. Safi's still good, but he ain't Reddles. I mean, that's not putting down Safi on Safi so solid. I still think they could finish 2, 3. Maybe they pop off finish 1. I think it's even doable. But Group 1's definitely, or Group A definitely looks easier. It looks easier, and I think that'll help out KCP in terms of their ability to pursue that one of these last 2 spots. Okay, if they end up popping off in Group A, then they can get a favorable seed, and then say SSG somehow plays poorly or something like that, and they end up not making it. You don't have to play SSG Reddles. Then you end up playing. I mean, V1's still great, but I don't know. Actually, I really don't know how it shake up. Bro,
I mean, looking at the groups, G2, FaZe, V1, NRG, SSG. That is too tough. Rebellion, you know, they do have an easier group, and I could see Rebellion making it out of that group pretty easily. And
but now I think about it, if Rebellion did make it out, then they'd have to play one of these really hard teams. Cause say they ended up with like second. Who does 2 play? 2 plays 3. Yeah, 2 played 3, and say SSG finishes 3 with Safi, then you have to play SSG with Reddles.
That's Reddles. I mean, at the same time, bro, like if you think about Group B, V1 has a better win rate against FaZe. Like FaZe could very easily just be the team that doesn't make it out of groups in that group.
Does V1 have a sub?
In my opinion. What happened?
Does V1 have a sub?
Why do they need a sub?
So someone's giving me they slotted me info right now talking about how Com has graduation day, the day of groups. So he might they don't. It's not announced if he's actually playing or not.
Or if Com doesn't play during groups. Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
the Fireburner would have to play.
I think
I
that's
mean,
a good
for-
sub. I ain't gonna.
I mean, it's not a bad sub. And I mean, if Com's got what's that high school graduation? If he's got high school grad, V1, they're not playing for much. So, I mean, that would assist phase
What is this?
Yeah.
in G2 for sure.
And SSG, low key.
Oh, I mean, it'll help them, but they
They don't really
Ah.
care. I don't think. Like
I
they.
mean,
you're
no,
already
no, they
concerned.
definitely do care about the points.
I think
We
it
can
matters
pull
going into
up the
championships, right?
overall leaderboard. Yeah,
Yeah.
pull the overall leaderboard. These are leaderboards looking right now. So I mean, if
Yeah.
SSG were to ball out, well, how many points is a major win? 900 or 850, something like that.
Something like
Let me
that.
Let me see. European major BDS won
It's 902 points if you win.
902. So say SSG were to win, they would be basically 4100. Wow, I don't even know. NRG would have to do terribly. NRG and Envy would have to be awful, and that's not gonna happen. So I feel like Space Station's the lock. I
Yeah,
mean,
plus
they'd
you
have to
get
fiend off.
300 minimum too. just
Yeah,
for
they would.
fun.
Yeah, they would have to fiend off Rogue.
Yeah, it's not even.
So I think they would care about making it the next day. Cause Rogue could catch him. But nah, the 3-4 spot doesn't even matter, does it?
I don't know how that works in terms of brackets.
The
for
bracket
championships.
is the old bracket.
Yeah, 3
it's
and 4
the-
play
it-
each other upper
3 and
quarters.
4 play each other. Yeah. So and then 5 and 6 are at the bottom.
Yeah, they're lower round 1. So you just want to maintain.
Yeah.
3 and
So there's
4.
so really nothing for SSG.
Yep.
SSG is playing for absolutely nothing this weekend.
Yeah,
Besides keeping Rogue off them. So as long as they make Sunday, they should be good, right?
yeah. If anything, Rogue is definitely kind of like playing to make sure that they stay in like that 3-4 spot.
Yeah, but
because-
even then, I don't even feel like G2 could catch them.
G2 can't.
So it's really just a
catch
competition
them
between G2 Phase and Rebellion. It looks like
Oh, yeah,
NRG
you're right,
and Envy
you're
are
right.
competing for the 1 seed. That's gonna be big potentially. Being able to avoid like Space Station, for example, if you can. Other than that, 3 seems like it's gonna stay the same. 4 should stay the same. 5, 6, and 7. That's swap. So it really comes down to how the groups work out.
Yeah.
It's gonna be some unluckiness gonna happen, but whoever balls out, and just going off of the groups, what I see, it's just I would favor the 2 teams in Group B
hmm
to be successful, more so than Rebellion in Group A. Because
Okay.
Rebellion's gonna end up playing one of these really top teams, and I mean, like I respect Roll Sonics and Xset and where else is in that group? Like, but like, unless FaZe ends up getting 4th seed, they have to play Envy or something like that. That's gonna be unlucky. But if they end up 2-3, G2 or FaZe end up
Ooh.
2-3. They end up 2-3. I think it's doable. More doable than say if KCP or not KCP Rebellion ends up with like a 2 seed. I end up playing SSG. Something like
Yeah.
that, you know what I'm saying?
FaZe have a very like dramatic kind of well, dramatic maybe is a stretch, but they have an interesting schedule, right? They play NRG first, then they play V1, then they play G2, and then the last match of the day is against SSG. So it could come down to potentially, depending on how V1 is looking, SSG are going to play V1 first. So those matches will be happening at the same time. It'll be SSG V1 and NRG FaZe. And from those 2 matches, you could probably tell how the rest of the day is going to go, at least I'd say in that group. I think G2 definitely should be able to make it out of groups. But it really is a big thing between FaZe, Space Station, and V1. Because for me, you don't know. There's just so many things you don't know. Now, V1 are playing at full rosters. That could do some damage. And then it makes that SSG FaZe match, being the last match of the day, scary. Like that one is just rough. And we've seen FaZe play well, but we've also seen them on a poor streak. And I just don't know if they can make it out of that group.
I just think that FaZe V1 matchup is gonna be the one to look at for FaZe.
Yeah.
Whatever happens, like if Fireburner steps in, then they have a way better chance. Just because Fireburner doesn't play with V1 on a daily basis. Fireburner's ain't no scrub still to this day. Like he's a pro that, or a coach that has kept his gameplay at pretty much the highest level still. So I wouldn't underestimate V1 even with Fireburner, but still, like, Calm has a lot of synergy with Torment and Gimmick now, and they've been looking on the up and up. So and even always against FaZe, V1 has like taken that matchup more often than not. So it's just scary to look at. Just that group in general is dangerous, and then V1 is really what I'm dictating on FaZe making it out of the group or not is on how V1 does as well. Looking over at Group A, I just think Shopify probably makes it out. But like if FaZe don't make it out of groups and Shopify does, then that's pretty much it, right?
Yeah, I feel like all of them make it out of groups. I feel like all of them make it out of groups. And so, to me, who comes down to it, I think if G2 or FaZe could end up getting the 2 seed behind NRG, I feel like NRG is probably going to win the group. If they end up getting the 2 seed, no, the 1 seed would be fantastic, but I don't think that's going to happen. If they end up getting G2 or FaZe, whoever gets the 2 seed out of that, if that's doable, and I think it is, especially with no Reddles, and if V1 doesn't play with Calm, they'll end up playing. I mean, unless Rogue is terrible, you would believe Envy and Rogue would be 1-2. Then Sonics would probably be the toughest, or Rebellion 1-2. That'd be cool to see a G2 or FaZe versus Rebellion to really decide it.
Oh boy,
Yeah,
that's
that would
max
be-
drama.
That would be
Cool. Because that'd be you earned it. Now the other team would also have to earn it, but then say it's G2 finishes second, Rebellion finished third, they end up playing each other first round, and that would put FaZe at either 3 or 4. Your 3 would play their 2, which would be Envy or Rogue. So, I mean, I'd much rather play Rebellion than I would Envy and Rogue. So it really comes down to how these teams perform in groups.
Coach G, can we get the leaderboard up? Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. I just want to see the leaderboard. Because if you think about it, right? Looking at G2 FaZe and Shopify, although they end up going into playoffs, if they all are in different spots, Shopify has to do better than one of the 2 teams. So it does end up coming down to like some bracket magic here as well, because whoever, even if they all are in different spots in the bracket, like they all, for Shopify, they just can't lose. Like no one, like if everyone loses, then that's fine for G2 and FaZe, but Shopify has to win at least. They have to go on a run. They have to go on a run.
I'm pretty sure they only have to win.
They only have to win one series if the other 2 lose.
Yeah.
Right. If the other 2 lose, but like that's still like, you're talking about getting the top 4 in a major.
They have to win one more than one of the 2 teams. Yeah, no, one of the other 2.
One of these teams has to win at least one series, surely, right? Like one of them has to win a series, but it really just comes down. I feel like just based off the groups, G2 and FaZe are more likely to do that than Rebellion are. But if they end up playing each other, then it's inevitable. One has to win. So Rebellion have to play G2. They both could be on the line. That's gonna be the matchup. Unless NRG and Envy both playing at the end, of course, for their points. But like Space Station locked, Rogue seemingly looks locked. It comes down to 5, 6, and 7, and 1 and 2. And so I mean it's gonna be really interesting. But to answer this subtopic, that the predictions for groups. My group B would be NRG, G2. I'm gonna go FaZe, Space Station. And then V1 would be out. And then and then my group A would be Envy, Rogue. It's tough to decide between Rebellion and XX is both good too. I don't really know what's going on. Probably Rebellion, just because they'd have the most on the line this weekend. And then Raul could talk about the Sonics, XX, but I mean, y'all just playing house money at this point. Y'all playing for money. It's nothing like too much on the line for y'all. So my 2 would be G2. They're playing Rebellion, and FaZe would be my 3. They would play Rogue.
That's tough. I mean, just based off what Garrett was saying earlier when he was on the show, I gotta put Garrett and NRG on the top of Group B. I think they're gonna come in hungry, especially since Garrett's like, he's like, I just want to win. point blank period. I just want to win. So, yeah, if he rallies his group with him, and knowing that Justin, this will be the last turn he plays for a little minute.
No,
at
he
least
has
for
to
the
play
summer.
championships.
Oh yeah, championships though. Oh yeah, you're right. I mean, going into championships, you want to be number 1 seed. So
Yeah. NRG is gonna want it, Envy's gonna want it. Cause that makes such a big difference in terms of avoiding the SSG.
SSG. I think SSG. Yeah, SSG is the biggest like opponent. I feel
You
like.
don't want to, you want to avoid them as long as possible. So like, how would you break it down for you two?
Energy group, or for Group B, NRG G2, just because I don't know about Space Station with Sathu right off the start, but they'll definitely ramp it up as it goes. And then I got Space Station at 3, and then
Station at 3.
I'm gonna go FaZe at 4. And
So basically, you're saying FaZe ain't gonna win. FaZe ain't gonna be your team that come out.
no, FaZe at
Well,
4.
Yeah, FaZe
Envy
are
won at
4.
5.
I'm talking about like making like championships. Cause FaZe, they get 4. I'm assuming you go Envy number 1 for Group A.
Yeah.
But that means FaZe gotta play Envy.
Well, I mean, FaZe play Envy. Then. I'm sorry. It's just, that's Envy just prestige.
Okay, and what would your Group A be?
Group A, Envy. I gotta put Rogue too, even though they haven't been looking well recently. And then Shopify, and then us and Son. I'm gonna go us over Xset.
I mean, that's
But-
respectable.
But I mean, Xset's no scrub, so.
Okay.
Depends
So you
on
got
which
FaZe
one.
playing Envy. So you ain't got FaZe winning that, of course. You got G2 versus Rebellion. Who you got? I got G2. Cause we got the same thing right there. We both have G2 2, Rebellion 3. I got G2 winning.
That's the matchup of playoffs.
I got G2 winning.
I'm gonna go Rebellion.
Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna go Rebellion.
Lord. Oh,
All right. I got go too. I believe in them.
I'm going BMO.
Okay. Beast mode. Okay.
BMO.
Lamar, what you got? Wrap us out.
I mean, I'm going G2 on that one. I think G2.
Oh,
got it.
that's just like our. Is that how you would predict your groups? That's just like how like our groups would go.
Yeah, I think I would have like FaZe finishing in 4th there. I think it was pretty on, to be honest. NRG at the top. Would y'all have what, G2 second, SSG
G2,
I
third?
had SSG 4th.
Oh,
That's
SSG
FaZe
4th.
Yeah.
I would probably go with Bates there. I probably have SSG finishing. I think all the other teams are just gonna be playing. Like they're all hungry for their own reasons.
I
And
feel
SSG
like-
playing with us up.
Right. And I felt like FaZe's only hope is they would have to play Rogue. So you have to get third or second. You have to play Rogue or Rebellion theoretically
Yeah.
in order to give yourself the best shot.
So I would go there. And then for Group A, I would have Envy, Rogue. I actually, nah. If World is putting Sonics at 4th, I have to put Sonics at 4th, to be honest. Otherwise, normally I would just have them over Shopify, but I'll put Shopify at 3rd, Sonics at 4th.
Gotcha. If Rebellion in 4th, then I mean they might as well chalk it because the way Garrett's talking today, I mean it's raps for you, but
Yeah, it's about to come out victorious this weekend.
yeah, you just raps for you. You threw it away. It's on
Yeah.
you.
So,
Yeah.
well, we'll see. We'll see. Of course, the NA Major is going to be this weekend. You can catch it here on twitch.tv/Rocket League, and you'll see me on the desk again. So, just gotta let that be known. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, obviously we want to see. This has been something that you can see it. We haven't really like spoken to a lot of people about it, at least like on public, like in the air. But you could see it in terms of those player cams on the field, the reactions when people win or lose. This is something that's a big deal for a lot of people, a lot of players. So we'll see. It comes to a conclusion here to see who locks in for championships. But that is it for us. We are out of time, guys. This has been a crazy, awesome episode of First Touch. Oh, excuse me. Thank you guys so much for being able to join us. Obviously, thank you, GarrettG. Big shout outs to him. Of course, big shout outs to Koji. Gentlemen, any final thoughts before we close off for today?
TBates, who you got winning the whole thing?
NA?
Yeah.
My boys from Envy ain't got the hours. They ain't got the hours. The machine don't have the hours. They ain't gonna be fine too. NRG winning. Envy And be my boy, they've been lackadaisical. They'll get drag up for championships. NRG this weekend.
Come on, who you got winning this weekend?
I got the general. Of course. NRG going all the way.
There's
You
no
shoulda
way
known.
he's going to
Look,
go
I
rogue.
gotta get the hat. Where's the hat?
Garrett, we are
Oh, my-
first touch. I represent first touch. All three of us represent first touch. And we got you going 3 for 3, winning this weekend. Let's go. That's the mentality. I got NRG, of course. The general. Garrett was just too convincing with his little.
He won it.
I'm
He
gonna
won it.
win.
My boys,
Yeah.
my boys from Mimi gonna have to learn that you gotta want it. You know what? The machine gonna be ready for the championship. I'm not worried about that. Shout out BDS. All right, I'm out.
Shout out BDS. Wait, why is he shouting out BDS?
Oh my god. Okay, well, guys, again, of course, thank you for watching First Touch. This has been an incredibly awesome episode 10 featuring Garrett will be on YouTube very soon, but of course, that's going to be it for us. We have to go. We will be back next Monday for another episode of First Touch. Again, 10 a.m. Pacific time. We'll see you then.